Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. When I was a kid, whenever we went to the fair or an amusement park of any kind, one of the things that I liked to get most there was a churro. But of course, as I grew up, got older, got on a low carb diet, churros were pretty much supposed to be out of the picture. Until now. Today I am going to show you how to make super easy keto churros. And if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some Amazon affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those Amazon affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and will help to support the channel. So, anytime you want to purchase anything on Amazon, make sure you remember me, use my affiliate link, and a small portion of your purchase will help to support the channel. And while you do all that, let's get cooking. In a large mixer bowl, combine a half cup of coconut flour, 2 tablespoons of golden monk fruit sweetener or brown sugar sweetener of your choice, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of xanthan gum, and a half teaspoon of salt. Sift or whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Gradually add in a half cup of hot water. Make sure this is hot. It doesn't have to be boiling. I just turn my tap water on till it's nice and hot. But you do want it to be hot. It helps the sweetener dissolve better and it helps the xanthan gum dissolve better. So you do want the water to be hot. Gradually add it in small amounts, mixing after each addition until the entire half cup of water is fully combined. Once the entire half cup of hot water is completely added, continue to stir the dough with a wooden spoon or your fingers until a soft dough forms. Once you have a soft dough formed, then form the dough into a ball and massage it for about 1 minute. This just helps to make sure that everything is fully combined and that everything is sticking together well. Your dough should be slightly moist, but it should not be sticking to your hands or crumbling. So if it's sticking to your hands, that means a little bit too wet. If it's crumbling, it's a little bit too dry. If it's not doing either or, then you got it perfect. Once you've massaged the dough for 1 minute, form it back into a ball and place it back into your mixing bowl. Allow it to rest for about 15 minutes so it can absorb any extra moisture and so the xanthan gum can bind all the ingredients together really well. While the dough is resting, fill up your deep fryer with the amount of oil that's specified by your manufacturer. If you don't have a deep fryer, then pour about 2 cups of oil in a large skillet. If you're doing this on stovetop, the amount of oil that you'll need can differ depending on how big your skillet is. Basically, you're wanting about 2 inches of oil in your skillet. Preheat your deep fryer to about 375 degrees. If you're doing this on stovetop, then preheat your oil for about 7 to 10 minutes or until it is hot. And set your deep fryer to the side or your skillet to the side and let it heat up. In a large Ziploc bag, combine 1/4 cup of golden monk fruit sweetener or brown sugar sweetener of your choice and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Seal the Ziploc bag and turn it a few times just until the sweetener and the cinnamon are fully combined. After your dough is done resting and your oil has been preheated, fit a piping bag with a star-shaped tip that's about a 1/2 inch wide. In my case, I'm using a piping gun, and I'm fitting it with a star-shaped tip. If you don't have a piping bag or a piping gun, then just roll your dough out to about a 1/2 inch thick. But if you're like me and using the piping gun, then you need to shape your dough where it is in an oval shape that is small enough to be able to fit into your piping gun or your piping bag. If you have a smaller piping bag and you need to cut this in half, you can do that. You can do it in 2 sessions if you need to. Once it's in your piping gun or your piping bag, Then pipe the dough out onto some clean parchment paper into logs about 6 inches long or your desired size. If you want them smaller, you can make them smaller. If you want them a little bit bigger, you can make them a little bit bigger. A lot of this has to do with how big your deep fryer basket is or how big your skillet is. So if you have a smaller skillet or smaller deep fryer basket, you can make these shorter. It's up to you. If you're not using the piping gun or the piping bag, then after you've rolled your dough out to about a 1/2 inch thick, cut it into strips that are about 6 inches long and however wide you think you're going to want your churro. And then roll each strip into a log of your desired size. Once your churros are all shaped into your desired size, place them in a single layer in your deep fryer basket or into your skillet, whichever one you're using. Make sure you keep these in a single layer and spread them out just a little bit. They don't puff up a lot, but they do puff up a little bit, so you do want to make sure that there is space in between each one for even cooking. Then deep fry them for about 5 to 7 minutes in your deep fryer or until they are your desired level of crispiness. If you're using a stovetop skillet, then fry them for about 5 minutes, then turn them over and fry them again for another 5 minutes or until they are your desired level of crispiness. Now remember, these are gluten-free, so they crisp up more as they cool. So you do want to be careful not to burn these and not to make them too crunchy. After you've fried them, place them on a paper plate that's been lined with paper towels just to absorb any extra oils that might be on the churro. Allow them to cool just for a few seconds, just enough so you won't burn your fingers. Then place the warm churros one at a time into the Ziploc bag with the cinnamon sugar topping. Turn the bag several times so that the churro is completely coated with the topping. Then place it back onto your lined paper plate. Do this until all of your churros have been fully coated with the topping. Once all the churros are fully coated, place them on a serving platter. You can eat them immediately, or if you have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container or a Ziploc bag at room temperature for up to 3 days. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button. You can leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.